So Todd revealed in tonight's episode that he intends to find 1,000 ounces of gold. But I can't help but think that 1,000 ounces would be a colossal failure. To explain why, I use something the Discovery Channel thinks we don't know: math. Let's say Todd does reach 1,000 ounces. Well, a flat 100 ounces of that belongs to the claim owner. That puts him at 900. But of course, on top of that, he has to pay 20% of his total gold found, which would send another 200 ounces to the claim owner. So now we're at 700 ounces. Is that good? Well, not really, because he owes another 200 ounces to Freddie Dodge for Monster Red. Now we're at 500 ounces. And one could argue that he has already found and spent about 140 ounces that he's not really counting anymore. So really, that's another 28 ounces to the claim owner, and now he's down to 472. But of course, that's not all his. 50% belongs to Dave Turin. So Todd's new share is now at 236 ounces. But aren't there 7 members on Team Hoffman? Well, that leaves him with about 34 ounces per person. Using the numbers provided in the previous weeks, an ounce of gold is worth about $1,200. 1,200 times 34 gives them each a yearly wage of $40,800. Of course, there's one big problem. That profit assumes they have no expenses at all. No fuel, no equipment, no food, nothing. And because Discovery doesn't ever tell us the daily running costs of the Hoffmans, and hasn't since season 1, we have no idea how bad that number actually is. But even if you take Dave's 236 ounces times 1,200, he gets to a total of $283,200. That's great until you remember he invested $500,000 to earn that, losing him $216,800. And again, that doesn't assume anything for expenses. For Dave just to get back his investment, he needs about 417 ounces of gold, which means the team needs 834 ounces of gold. But that's only after they pay back 200 to Freddie, so 1,034 ounces of gold. But they'll only have that after the 28 plus 100 plus 20% they paid the claim owner, which puts them at a break-even point of 1,394 ounces of gold, again assuming zero expenses. And so what are those expenses? Well, in episode 4, Parker remarked that he spends about $6,000 a day in fuel. Let's apply that to the Hoffmans, who have more men and more equipment, and let's say they run for 3 months. Well, that will cost them $540,000 in fuel. If they do find 1,000 ounces total and keep 472, that gives them a profit of $566,400, assuming they don't eat for those 3 months, and what they find is 100% pure gold, and the refining process is free. That leaves them with a profit of $26,400, but half of that belongs to Dave, so he earns $13,200 for the year, minus his $500,000 investment, which will lose him $486,800. Good going, Dave. No wonder your brothers didn't want to invest. The remaining Hoffman crew then divide the $13,200 among themselves, giving each man for the year $1,886. They probably spent that much just driving their trailers up to the Klondike. Anyway, that's how I see things so far. Some would say it's nitpicking, and it is, but if Discovery is going to give us the Hoffmans, at least be truthful in their results. You proved after last year that you're not afraid to let them fail on our TV week after week, so at least be honest about it. Oh, and one more thing before I'm done. I really miss Dakota Fred.